Do you think Vince stays in Connecticut or does he go to Florida?
Ooh. You know, I'm not sure that Vince McMahon, at least the Vince that I knew, could stay away from being in or around New York City for long extended periods of time.
Just because of the barber?
No, every time you mention New York or every time he's there on the way to the Garden in the limo, you just see him perk up a little more. He loves New York. He told me once, because it was just me and him one time from a Shotgun Saturday Night, the shoot where, goddamn it, was that where I picked up the midget Vader from the bus station that we made him ride from Mexico because I was cheap and he couldn't get to the urinal or whatever. Vince had all these sight gags. No, Sad, here's the thing. We have no permit to shoot. It's a guy with a camera, a guy with a boom mic, me dressed in my fucking multicolored manager outfit with a tennis racket, and a goddamn midget dressed like Vader. And the Vince has concocted the idea that I've brought the mini Vader in, but I'm so cheap, I made him ride a bus all the way from Mexico. And even though, yes, I know they do have bathrooms on buses, Vince thought it'd be another great sight gag visual if when I meet Mini Vader coming off the bus, he's holding his knees together and he's jumping up and down and he's got to take a piss. He's about to piss himself because he couldn't piss all the way from Mexico. So I take him in the Port Authority there? Is that where the buses and everything come in?
One of the most disgusting places on the planet. That's it.
Yeah, and look at us. And there's Vince McMahon producing this. So we're a sight even in New York. And we go in the men's room and there's people looking at us. And the deal is I'm supposed to have to. Mini Vader can't piss in the urinal because he's too short and he can't get up to the urinal. So I'm having to try to get under his arms and pick him up. But because I'm not strong enough to pick up this fucking lead-assed fat midget, he can't. But the thing is, we go in there and the urinals are like 8 inches off the ground. They're all the way down. The sight gag that Vince has come up with won't work. He said, do it anyway. So there, while legitimate travelers are pissing in what I assume to be the country's biggest fucking bus station, I've got this Mexican midget speaking in Spanish, hola, dressed like Vader, complete with the mask, under the arms, trying to pick him up so that he can fake piss into a fucking urinal that's already on the ground to begin with. And they think I'm shaking him for change or something. And there's a camera shooting, and then we just left. I slunk out. That's a place I slunk out of.
And you think this is an example of Vince's love of New York City?
But where I was going was, so we're in the limo on the way over to the shotgun taping, just me and Vince after that. And I'm just looking out the window. He said, you don't like the city, do you? I said, Vince, it's so crowded. It's the traffic. It's the people. It's the crowd. It's you can't get anywhere. It's from one place to another. It's chaos. He said, it's the greatest city in the world. You can get something to eat anytime. And nothing ever closes. The tourist attractions. See, he looks at the attractions that he never goes to as a signification that the city is great, and I look at all those attractions that I would actually like to see if it wasn't an hour and a half or 2 hours to go 3 miles in between each one. So we just had different viewpoints on New York. I don't believe he would leave the New York area full-time for long periods of time.
Do you think Vince will hire Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, or Kevin Dunn with a personal services contract?
Boy, I tell you what, that's a goddamn... And they could go to Florida and remake the famous Marx Brothers classic, The Coconuts. But Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, and Vince McMahon could be the new Marx Brothers. I have a feeling all of the folks that you mentioned besides Vince are gonna be retiring at some point in the near future from at least the WWE. I don't know about all of them. Well, Kevin Dunn will never work in another wrestling promotion, and I would imagine John Laurinaitis would not either. Bruce would, because he does have affection for the business might very well do something else somewhere else at some point in time.
Anyone that hires him, that's a mistake. Don't do that.
Well, no, now you can't say anybody. I'll tell you what, Bruce has spent a lot of time in Texas. I bet you he can do a heck of a drywall job for you.